Sheikh, aside the differences among Ahlus Sunnah or Salafiyya themselves, there are other people, whenever a da'i, especially in the Senegambian region, goes out to clarify, like pure aqidah, and then many people would tend to counter, saying it is not part of hikmah in da'wah for you to maybe tell people like this sect is the only sect that the Prophet ﷺ says anyone who lives on that is going to go into Jannah. Any other sect aside what the Prophet ﷺ himself lived on and his Sahaba, they are deviant and misguided. And also if you say don't worship graves, do not do this, they say okay, that's not part of hikmah. When it comes to da'wah, talk about salah, talk about hajj, talk about things that unify the ummah. Because if you talk about aqidah, you tend to bring about division. So this statement of hikmah in da'wah, does it truly mean to sideline aqidah and talk about things that bring about unity and harmony amongst Muslims?
No. I actually believe that the best form of da'wah is the way of the Prophet ﷺ, without any doubt. And the Prophet ﷺ did not go out of his way to speak a lot about other sects or cults and leave the main topic. So when you say, let's talk about salah, in salat, we have tons of views, whether to put my hand on the chest or on above the belly or below the belly or leave your hands on your sides. Or so which one should I take? Oh, okay, don't speak about these issues of dispute. What should I speak about? The issues of aqidah is what the Prophet taught alayhi salatu wasalam. However, it is not logical to spend our time talking about the other sects, like I've mentioned, and you just attack this sect, and call people by name, make fun of what they do here, what they do there. What is my aqidah? I don't know. No, focus on what the Quran preached, on what the Sunnah preached. And as a side note, I follow what my Sheikh says, that using the label Salafi is not an advisable thing, because now it's becoming a sect. So what are you? Oh, I'm a Salafi. No, don't say that. What are you? I'm Muslim. This is what Allah called me in Islam. If people come and say, no, I know you're a Muslim, what kind of a Muslim? I said, what do you mean? I said, are you Shi'i or Sunni? I said, I'm a Sunni. What kind of a Sunni? What do you mean? We have this kind of Sunnis, and he calls sects to me. Not Hanafi, Shafi'i, Maliki, Hanbali. No, these are not sects. These are schools of thought. But I'm talking about sects related to Aqidah. Then I would say I am from Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah. So that I'm not from the Khawarij, I'm not from the Mu'tazila, I am from Ahlus Sunnati wal Jama'ah, of the vast majority of the Muslims. If you go to Pakistan or India or China, if you go to Morocco, if you go to the US, if you go to the deserts of Arabia, Ahlus Sunnati wal Jama'ah, they worship Allah Azza wa Jal, as we mentioned in the beginning of this episode, according to the pillars of Iman. They have their Aqidah clear and clean. So, as a side note, Akhi, don't raise the flag. I'm a Salafi, because in the Salafiyya themselves, you have the super Salafis who followed a particular Imam, may Allah have mercy on his soul and gives him Jannah for his da'wah. But even when he was alive, those who they followed him and he praised, went against him. And they had factions and factions and factions. So, no, follow only the Quran and the Sunnah with the understanding of the Salaf. And by saying this, I'm not saying cross out the madhab, because then you will become an imam. So, I'm not a Hanbali. What do you mean? Do you know more than Imam Ahmad ibn Muhammad ibn Hanbal? Of course not. No, you have to have a school of thought. You have to have scholars you follow. But your affiliation is mainly and primarily focused on Quran and Sunnah. If they follow, we follow them. And we take their opinions and we put them on our heads.